Hey Hogs, I'm gonna go through film notes of our practice through team run and regular team offense. A couple things I want to point out real quick. Uh, I want you guys to understand how lucky you guys are. First off, with being able to have this, my father-in-law, he volunteers his time to come out and do this, and trust me, a lot of teams in our conference in our section don't do this where they film practice, especially when it's this type of view and this high of quality. So we're extremely lucky in that regard. So please make sure you take time to watch this because this is valuable, guys. This is where you learn the most, is watching the film of yourself or the other people there, and this is where you learn about technique, scheme, overall thought process. So really take the time to watch all this. When I played college football, we would film our practices all the time, and I tell you what, I grew the most as a football player watching film of myself and watching film of other people making mistakes, because it helped me understand the game better. And so please take time to watch this. Um, I watched through the film already as a whole. I don't think we ran one single play 100% correctly. And here's just some wisdom for you guys. It's called a play for a reason because everyone has their part. It's like an actual drama or like a play that you would go see in the theater. It's a play, everyone has a part, and they have to do their part correctly in order for it to work. On defense, one or two people can miss their job, but they can still get a tackle for a loss because one person over here was doing their job and made the tackle. On offense, if one person misses their block, the entire play can go dead because that one person doesn't do his job. So in offense, we all need to do our job every single time. We have to know our job, and then when we do it, we have to do it with nastiness and getting after the guy with the right technique. So with that, I'll get into the film. I do take my time with the film. I'll go through each position. I'll go through H. I'll go through tackle, and then I'll move on to the next play. So it will probably be pretty lengthy. In the top left here, I have the name of the play that we're doing. So we're doing power. We're doing power to the right. So pause here. This is what we should see. Wheel and seal backside. Pull, skip, pull up and through, block, play side, inside backer. Got gap on, gap on over, gap on over. So we should have a base block and a push block to FBI. Here, gap on. So he has a guy on him. So he's going to base block him. And then our H is kicking out, first person outside the tackle. Okay, let's watch the wheel and seal. Notice how Raymond steps down hard inside, but I want to see his head on this shoulder here. I want him squeezing down even more, trying to join this wall that's being created. Okay, because that guy's squeezed down with him. We need to cut this guy off from the play. All right, let's watch the skip pull here. Let's watch Rife. Rife does a nice skip. He has his eyes on his linebacker. He's pretty tight. I'd like to see him even tighter. That way we can go and kick this guy out, which would be an even easier block for us here. If we're inside out and we have space here, we can kick this guy out. That way our A-back, who's going to do a good job keeping this tight, can run right off our butt, and then we're going to get a lot of yards. See, even more important, see our guard came off to block this guy. Even more important for us to stay downhill tight because then we can run the ball right downhill. Okay. Um, but that's a decent job there by Rife getting to his guy, engaging him. I just want to see him run through contact. You see how you're in the hole, Rife? I want to see us run through contact out of the hole and go blow that guy up out of the water, and keep driving him towards that sideline. We cannot stop our feet in the hole. We need to keep moving so our A-back can get by us. Okay, let's go to the center. Center takes us 2 steps. We're too high, though. I want to see you underneath, pop your hips through, and drive this guy vertically off the ball, and keep running your feet. Okay, we do get this guy eventually pushed over, and you're able to take him over, and he's away from the play. So ultimately, we do our job there. Okay, watching our right guard here. Steps with the right foot first. I like to see us gallop and not turn. I want to see 1 step in and then 3rd step go. All right. It does look like we're down on the hip. We don't get a big push though, but Lucas, I do like this. I really do like this. And everyone needs to see this with the double team. I've said it multiple times already. When we have a double team, both of these guys are double teaming to that linebacker. Four hands on the down lineman, four eyes on the linebacker. I can tell Lucas has his eyes on his linebacker because he feels hip goes away, his eyes are on the linebacker, he sees the linebacker flows over the top, so he comes off and we push him past the hole and see how this works out for our running back if he keeps it tight. If we push this guy past the hole, we still have a really good running play. Okay, if our running back kept it tight like he's supposed to, we push him past the hole here and we run right underneath, and it's a big play for us. Okay, so play side tackle. So foam, really big first step. Look at that. You're almost making contact, and that foot has barely gotten on the ground. So now you're making contact with 1 foot behind. You don't have a really good base underneath you. Okay, that's when you make contact right there. Looks like we're belly dancing here with the other guy. Look like two circus bears dancing with each other. All right. I want to see you underneath them with the flat back, getting underneath them, having your elbows look like they're pretty tight here, which is good. Okay, but now we need to start driving our feet. This is good position here. Okay, with your legs that you're nice. You have a nice wide base, but I can see here your hand is not inside, so we're not winning that battle. We're not underneath them. This is a very tough job. This one-on-one block here, it's very, very tough. Okay, and you're the one getting pushed back. We need to be the one that's pushing him forward and getting him out of the way. Okay, we can't be belly dancing like that. We have to win the hand fight inside. And I tell you what, guys, we need to work on our base block here. We need to work on this block, work on bringing our power and pop with our base block through our guy. Okay. LaFleur, you're inside out here. H's, we're inside out here. I want to see us down on the hip though and drive through this guy's hip. We're just a little bit too high. You do bring a lot of power. You run through the block, but I want to see us down on the hip because you're going to face guys that are a lot bigger and a lot more physical than this guy. And I want us practicing it the right way every single time. You're going to practice the way you play. Or you're going to play the way that you practice. And if you're practicing high, not getting on the hip, we're going to get our butts whooped if we don't do it the right way. So we need to have attention to detail and making sure we're staying down on the hip. Just take time to appreciate this view. This is unbelievable how awesome of a view we get to do this. What an opportunity to watch this. Uh, One thing I'll say, Raymond, I notice your splits. You tend to do this where you are not lined up with the guard. You need to make sure as a tackle that your toes are at the same level as the toes of the guard. Okay, we can't have this different vertical split. You got to pay attention. Besides that, our splits look pretty good here across the board. Okay, here we're running trap. I think we're running trap to the right. Yep. So we'll go left to right here. So Raymond once again steps down hard. Okay, I see Raymond. He sees that this guy slants it to his gap, so he gives a little punch. But we can really focus on this guy, making sure we're not getting moved. This is good. This is nice here. That's a good wheel and seal block there. He steps down hard, replaces the guard, and he's helping out with this guy that came into the B gap, and they're joining the wall. They're creating the wall together, which is what we want to see. Our trap guy, Rife, he pulls. Rife, you notice how you just kind of twist your foot there, your lead foot. You just kind of twist your foot. I want to see you actually take a step into the line of scrimmage. So your path should be like this: 45 degrees, scraping paint off of butts, and meeting this guy right there. Okay, let's see if you can run that line. Sure enough, if you see that line, look at this line that I just drove or drew. Sorry. You could have ran that exact line if you go on a 45-degree angle. Okay, because see, he's moving upfield, and you can stay on that exact line into the line of scrimmage to hit that hip. I hope all the guards see that. Everybody sees that. Okay, also, we're too high. I want to see you down on the hip. You could have put Paul Ficker on his tail if you were down on his hip and you would have driven through it. But besides us doing that, okay, he's still able to get his arm in on the tackle. Okay, guys, let's not stop in the middle of a play. Let's go block our guy and stay on him. Okay. One big blow to the hip here. There's no way he's going to get in the play. Okay. Pacer watching you. We got to step with our gap side foot first. Okay. So it goes 1, 2. Because if he slants just like he did here, that's the worst case scenario, and we got to be ready to take him and drive him into our gap. You just step with the wrong foot, but you do have quick feet, so you're able to recover there. Okay, because where's your help coming from? Your help is coming from the play side. So if you step with this play side foot, that's just wasted because you have help coming from this way. So you need to step with the foot that you don't have help from, which is your play side foot. Okay, always step with your gap, or sorry, not play side, my fault. Gap side foot first. That's what you need to step with. Okay, but you do a nice job driving this guy into a down block. That's exactly what it should look like. I started slanting these guys today because we need to get used to that and blocking our gap. When in doubt, guys, block your gap. Step with your gap side foot. Take whoever comes there and down block them. Okay, I can make it as simple as that. Now we want double teams when we can get them, but if you just don't know, step to your gap and block the guy that's there. Okay. Okay, Lucas, watching you. Lucas, I want you to watch your big old arm swing here. Okay, you look like you're flapping wings like a bird here with that little flap there. Okay, we don't need to do that. We need to keep our hands tight. And I actually heard this I watched a YouTube video from a college football coach, and he calls it keeping your dukes up. Okay, imagine if you're in a fist fight and you keep your dukes up close to your chin. Whenever we're offensive linemen, we want to protect our chest because a defensive line, what do I teach you on defensive line? To get your hands on the inside and get extension. So if we have our hands up covering our chest, there's no way that the defensive lineman is going to be able to do that. But if we're start flapping our wings like a bird, it's going to be really easy for someone to control us and get their hands on us. So we need to have we need to get used to keeping our hands tight inside, not only to get our hands on their chest plate, but to protect our own chest plate. And we need to keep our hands there. Okay. So we can't be doing this big flap. The second thing, Lucas, if you watch your step, um, first step's not too bad. Okay, once again, I'd love to see us gallop down. The reason why I want you to gallop down on this push block is so we keep our shoulders square to the line of scrimmage. So we can, if our linebacker flows over the top, then it's easy for you to adjust off and go get them. Okay. But Lucas, you don't go to your FBI here. This is where the play falls apart. Okay. You need to run through that hip and go to your FBI, first backer inside. What you do is that you come back and you block the tackles guy, which is not good. Okay. And this guy is left unblocked. This is what I'm talking about. Everyone else up front can do their job. But when one guy messes up, we don't get a touchdown. It messes the entire play up. Okay. On defense, 5 guys can mess up, but we can still get a tackle for a loss just because one guy did a spectacular job on one play. That offense is not that way. Okay, and look, he's right there to make the tackle because one guy went to the wrong linebacker. It is crucial you know where you are going. Everyone else, we need to watch this right here. I'm going to make a point of emphasis. This is the second biggest thing. Whenever we have a kick out guy, if it's on trap, if it is on cap, if it is on power or counter, the guy that we are kicking out is lava. We cannot touch him in any way. If you try to rip inside and he's trying to cross your face, you need to stop, let him go by you, and then go around the outside to get to your guy. Take the easiest path to your linebacker. And Ben Thome does that right here. Everyone watch. He steps down. He sees this guy is slanting into his gap. Now he does give him a little tap, but notice what Ben does. He goes around the outside and lets him go. And so it's really easy for us to kick this guy out. That is exactly how that should look. He gets to his linebacker, and then he would be pushing him past the hole. But once again, Lucas messed that up there. So that's perfect. Okay. Other thing, H is your job on trap if you're on the play side is just backer. Okay. It is backer, down to backer, right here, FBI. We're not blocking out. It's not the end of the world if you do that. It's just that this guy's not going to get in the play because we're running it inside him. So you're just going to stay on that path to that backer, and we want to wash that down and have you join the wall here that we're trying to create on the backside. But if this guy tries to cross your face, then that's when you would wash him down with everybody else. Okay. So what we're trying to do is that we're trying to create a wall backside. So what we should have is Lucas there. We should have Ben Thome there. We should have LaFleur right there. You see how we're trying to create this wall on the backside? And then we have our kick out block right here. Here's our funnel that we're trying to run the ball straight through. That's the funnel that we're trying to create every time. Now, if he flows over the top and Lucas has to turn around, then he just joins the other side of the funnel. All right. Okay, this is power, I believe. There's some plays I couldn't tell what it was because I think people were messing up where they were supposed to go. But I believe this one is power. I think it was easy enough to tell. Okay, so here, kick out first person outside the tackle. Here is gap for the tackle, gap on over. You have a guy on you, so it's a base block. He even looks like he's a little bit inside. So if you think you can down block him, then down block him. Okay, try to down block him if you can. And drive him inside so we can run the ball outside you. Same thing with the guard, gap on over. There's a guy over the center, so I'm going to push block him. Center looks gap on over. There's a guy on him, so he's got the base block. So base block, push block to you two are going to FBI. You're comboing to FBI there. Backside guard is pulling, staying tight to play side inside backer, wheel and seal the backside. Okay, we'll go left to right here. Watch the wheel and seal. Joe, you could have stepped down a little bit harder. We really got to look for this guy slanting hard inside or this backer taking triggering through here. So we got to make sure we're really ready for that. So we need, I'd say, take one more shuffle step down and get to try to get close to the center. But you do seal this guy off, which is what we're looking for there. Okay. Rife, looking at you. Yeah, Rife, there is a window here. I can see that, but let's try not to get involved with this guy because on power, we can run the ball outside if we need to. Let's get you to your backer. Okay. Get your eyes on your backer and find a way to get to him. Okay, if it's taken this way or even bouncing it outside one more hole to get to him, then let's do that. Let's not get here and then block a hole up for the running back or the quarterback. Let's get through it and get to our linebacker if we can. Okay. Pacer watching you. Okay, once again, you step with the wrong foot. Gap side foot first. Okay, then this foot. Your first step is a little bit too big. It's not bad actually, but I want to see you go 1, 2. But I do like Pacer, how you see him slant away. So you readjust to get this double team nice and tight, and I can see your eyes are on the backer, which is excellent, seeing where he's going to go. Okay, let's see what happens. You see, I feel like we came off a little bit prematurely here. I feel like we could have stayed on a little bit longer because this guy has not declared to your gap yet, but I see what you're doing there. Okay, we could have stayed on this a little bit longer. We're pushing. Okay, he's not close enough where you can get your hands on him yet. So let's stay on this and keep driving this guy back. So this linebacker is forced to take this, and then you can block him. Okay. And let's not grab jerseys. That might be a penalty. Okay, Lucas, I'd like to see his gallop once again here. He slants to your gap, so we can still try to push this guy, but most likely this is going to turn into a down block and a down block. Okay, but I do like how you're running your feet. The only thing, look at your feet. You're crossing your legs over. I want to see you be nice and wide and gator walk this guy, okay? Because he just throws you off just like that because you have no base underneath you. We don't want that to happen, okay? Ben Thome, look at your first step. Okay, you're making contact and this foot still is not completely in the ground. And now when you're making contact, look at your feet here. how spread apart they are, and you're staggered. We don't want that. Okay. Because here, look, you have no power to drive this guy off the ball. We have no power, and he's able to do whatever he wants. See, what you have to do is now you have to step back with that foot in order to be able to do anything and to move, to do anything else. Okay. We can't take that big step. We have to go 1-2, boom, boom, 1-2, get him down on the ground, just like we do on defense. A base block on offense is like your base technique on defense. It's as simple as that. They're the same word. Your base technique on offense is the same technique on defense. But besides, after your first two steps on offense, you're driving that guy off the ball. Where on defense, you're just sitting, getting extension, waiting in your hole. Offense, you're taking your two read steps, seeing where he wants to go, and then you're driving him off the ball and taking him where he wants to go on that one-on-one base block. Okay. H's, when you're kicking out on power, you need to, it's called the banana route because as you can see, this looks like a banana. You need to go in upfield, inside to out, get your head and shoulder on this hip and drive this guy out. Okay. We cannot take this open path because we're trying to run the ball right here off tackle. Okay. If we get a wash, then it's going to be more downhill, obviously, but we're trying to run the ball right off your butt. So if you take this path and this guy comes underneath, we're screwed. This is way too wide of a path. We need to go inside to out. Okay, that's not good because if we try to run the ball right there, he's going to make the tackle. Next play. I'm trying to go through these as fast as I can, so I can get to more plays and more guys, but there's just so much good stuff we can learn from those first plays, even though you're not in there, that I can't skip over some of these things. Um, I shouldn't skip over any of them because they're really, really important for us to learn from. And if you're not in there, if you don't see your body, it doesn't matter. You need to listen to every single position because you could be playing that position and you could be making that exact same mistake. All right. So Joe, watching you once again, look at your toes. Okay, you need to back up and make sure that your toe to toe, your toes match up with the guard. You're a little bit too close to the line of scrimmage. I do like how you've closed your splits down because you know you're wheeling and sealing. I like that. Okay, but and one of the big reasons why I want you farther back is because look how fast you make contact with the tackle here or the defensive end. You make contact before you're able to even step down for your wheel and seal. Okay, when you make contact, your feet are in the air when you make contact right there. So back up off the ball so you can take your steps over to cut them off from the play and your feet are firmly in the ground. Okay? But you do cut them off, but don't get pressed so far back into the backfield. Because look, you're practically stepping back into the running back, which is not good. Okay? Take your steps and then sit there firmly and don't get moved. Sit right there, maybe even press him back a little bit because we don't want your butt to get pushed right into our running back. We had a very embarrassing play last year against Chanhassen where Peyton got tackled by the butt of our tackle because he got pushed so far into the backfield on a wheel and seal block that force knocked our running back over. That's embarrassing to see as a lineman coach of where this guy's getting tackled because our linemen are getting pushed back. So stand firm in there. Okay, Rife, when you do a kickout block, it's not a skip pull. You should be stepping down the line of scrimmage, straight down the line of scrimmage, and attacking that inside hip. Don't skip pull to do that. Okay, because sometimes these trap blocks are going to be so close that you're not even going to finish your skip before you're kicking that guy out. So it should just be a turn and run. Get on a 45-degree angle, step forward into the line of scrimmage, and run at him. Okay, notice how he skips, and then he's there. Also, I mean, we're just overall we're way too high, guys. We're way too high. And I know I've emphasized it enough. We've practiced it where our head needs to be down on the hip, shoulder needs to be down on the hip, and to pull that guy out of there. This is not going to get the job done if we're doing that because first off, we're not tight enough. He's able to fight over the top. I mean, you are getting a decent push, but I really want to punch that guy out of there using our hip. I want us to really get after him here. Okay, Taglin, looking at you. You don't take any steps. You just lunge, which that's not the worst thing in the world for a center to do because you're right on the line of scrimmage. Sometimes that's what you have to do to get on your guy. Sometimes as a center, you might even have to step back. But I would prefer to see you take a step with your gap side foot at least before you make contact. But I do like this how you roll your hips into your guy. Everyone, watch how Taglin on this base block. Watch his hips as he rolls up and into his guy to create some power. And notice we get some movement here because of that. Okay. He gets underneath and he rolls his hips into his guy, and we start getting movement. Now his feet do get really close together, but that unhinging of his hips, rolling his hips into contact there, that's what helps get that power, and he's able to drive that guy back. Okay. That's nice right there. And he gets his hands inside. Notice with that hand battle, he's got nice tight elbows here. His hands are inside. He wins that hand battle. There's nothing this defender can do besides get on ice skates and get driven back right into this linebacker's butt. We want to see that. Okay, Jacob, you take your first step. Now we're running here. Remember, I want us to gallop down, hit that hip. You're up on the shoulder pad, so we get no there's no lateral movement here. There's no really big punch to get that guy over. Use your shoulder, get down on his hip, throw that guy over into the other gap as you work up to your FBI. Okay. See how you stop your feet? Don't stop your feet. Okay. Run through that contact. Ben is doing this up by himself, getting that guy over into his gap. Okay. Get down on that hip and run through it. Help him out before you go to your FBI. Let's see. Do you get to him? Okay. Uh, Jacob, I don't know why we're stopping in the middle of the play here. You're right in the running back's way to run the ball. Okay, keep on going. Stay on your track. You're on a 45-degree track here. Okay, stay on your track at a 45-degree angle to your linebacker and don't stop until you get there because he's looking for a place to run. Okay, keep on going and get there so our running back can get downhill. Okay, Paul, good job stepping hard inside. Your first step could even be a little bit flatter. Okay, and I've said this before, but on trap and on cap and cop, this tackle can double his split. So your feet could be out here and you could have 4 feet in between you and the guard instead of 2 feet, because what that is going to do is widen this 4 technique, which will give us more space inside for you to well, you would get this much space. Okay, you would get that much space to first rip inside, and then you would give our trap guy that much more room to come in and to kick him out. It would just make the hole that much bigger. I don't care if the defense knows. Try to stop it. Okay. Remember, this guy's lava. We don't want to touch him. Okay, we do a decent job not touching him and getting in his way. Now, the only thing, this is okay. This is pretty good, Paul. I'd like you to see you drop your hips when you make contact with this guy, but you're on your linebacker. You're driving your feet. That's a good job right there, Paul. Good job. Okay, Vincent, H back here on. If you're on the play side of trap, as I told LaFleur before, you're just down to FBI here. Okay, this guy crosses your face, you take him. If not, you're just down to FBI. Okay, once again here, let's look at the wall that we're trying to create on trap. Okay, here's the wall on the backside. You see that? We're all getting on the wall. Here's our kick out. Trying to run the ball right inside, right down that funnel. Right down that funnel. That should be opening up if Jacob gets his butt out of the way. Should be right there. Okay. Looks like we're running counter again to the left. Okay, same thing here. We can widen our splits out. We can be about out here with our feet. Give us that extra room, just like we do on trap. Well, actually, let me think about that. No. Sorry. This is counter. We should not do that on counter. At least I think it's counter. I'm assuming it is because we have this guy pulling up and through. So never mind. We shouldn't be doing this on power and counter. It should only be on trap and cap and cop. Because we're not kicking out the 4 technique. We're kicking out the 7 technique out here, or this guy that's out in space. So Joe, that's what confused me is that Joe, you're trying to rip up inside when we should be you should be basing this guy. You should be base blocking this guy. So that's the first mistake there. We shouldn't be ripping up inside. It still works out here. This just becomes a really tight counter, but we want counter and trap to look different. Okay. Um, so you should be base blocking this guy. LaFleur. Um, okay, I'd like to see you gallop down on this push block. I don't want to see you turning and running here so much. Um, don't put your hand on your own lineman because you're going to knock him off the block. Uh, wait for your punch until you get to the hip or use your shoulder. Okay, we do get a little bit of movement, but get your hands down on the hip and make that guy fly. Okay, um, it's just there's not a lot of big push there to get that guy over into the gap. And also, we're running here, LaFleur. Okay, there's your feet. That's how tight they are. We're not gator walking, guys. We don't need to be so fast to get out of there. And that's going to put us in big trouble. We need to have a nice wide base, gator walking everywhere, and we can get there fast enough where it's going to work. Because what it does now is that we're not able to adjust and get off on our linebacker and get out and get on him the right way. Okay, we do a decent job here, but when we're going against other teams, some of the best teams in our section, um, that have bigger, stronger, faster guys. What we're doing here is not going to work. Okay, we're going to get our butts whooped if we're running around and not gator walking, if we're not getting our hand down in the hip and just up on the shoulder pad. All of these things are not going to work. So we need to start practicing it the right way. Okay, Jacob, you should be going out to this guy, but let's just pretend that this 4 technique is the guy you're supposed to be kicking out. Okay, you stay nice and tight to Joe here, but when you get there, you're at the same hat level. You're not down on the hip. We're not using our shoulder. And so there's no movement here, really. There's no big collision. We want to see big collisions here. Okay, Paul, back on the backside here, this wheel and seal, not too bad. It's not too bad and don't get moved. But here's the thing. There's no way that he can go there. You have to get your butt in between him and the hole. Your butt should be right there. And the only way he can go is around you or through you. Okay? Don't let him be able to get over the top because look who makes the tackle. All right? This wheel and seal means you seal. You seal him off. Okay? Get your butt in between him and the play. You are joining the wall that's trying to be created. Step down hard, okay, and we're trying to create a wall. Now, he's not over there because we don't get a great push here laterally, but we're trying to join this wall, and the only way he can go is around the wall that way. Rife, watching you. Okay, here you turn and run instead of skip pull. When you're pulling up and through, you should be skipping, staying square, nice and low, staying tight to the wall that's being created. Let's watch here. Okay, look how much space. See, Rife, you should be right there. But look how much space we're given. I don't know if you were anticipating us being wider here, but look how much space you have. You do get to your linebacker. You had your eye. Oh, go get to your linebacker. Go get to him. Have your eyes on him the whole time until you block him. Okay, I know you saw Joe going to him. Joe was wrong. Trust and do your job. Go get your job done. Okay. Okay, we're running counter again here. Uh, we'll go left to right. So Rafe, once again, you should be skip pulling, staying nice and tight, going up to play side inside backer. Look how you it's not bad. Could be tighter. Could be tighter to the wall. That way it would be really easy for us to just kick that guy out. We run right underneath you. Okay, but you're a little wide. Not too bad though. Also would like to see you skip pull. Okay, Pacer. Notice Pacer, he has a wheel and seal. Notice how he's condensed his split, so it's easy for him to step down. So on the snap of the ball, he steps down, and he turns his butt so he can make sure he can seal this guy off. Notice how we're joining the wall here. Okay, and he cuts that guy off from the play. Now keep it there. Okay, keep him there. If he wants to go over the top to try to go get in the play, that's fine. Just stay on him and run with him. Okay, Lucas, looking at you. Lucas, you're doing your job here. You're turning and running. You go by that 4 technique. Yep. And if that guy's out in space, go get him. We want you to go get in front of him and go block that guy. That's exactly right. I know it seems weird. It's like, coach, why am I going all the way out here? Okay, that's because if we get a good wash on this guy and you go out to him and we watch this guy here, that is a big gap for us to run through. Okay. That's a huge gap. But we want to take the first hole that we get. All right, which would have worked out if we were able to keep on this block. And here's the thing, our running backs could have cut off this and we would have been in good shape. Okay. Watching center here. Center, you step with your gap side foot first, which is awesome. But once again, Thom, you're just doing this thing where you take kind of a too big of a step and it's even exaggerated even more because you're the center and you're on the line of scrimmage. Your first step really should just be pick it up, put it down. If you're a center, it might even be a little bit backwards if this guy's really into you. But you step with your gap side foot, which is good, but we want to try to stay nice and square so we can then run our feet. Okay, we do get him punched over into our gap. Now get your butt in between him and the play. Turn and keep him there. I do like how you're still running your feet, but stay on them. That's not too bad. I'm sorry. I hate saying that. Too bad makes it sound like it was bad. That was okay. That was decent. Um it we're getting there. I'll say that. LaFleur, same thing. We're running here. You just kind of give this guy a little pat on the back saying, hey, good job. And then you get up to the linebacker. And notice when you make contact with the linebacker, you have no base underneath you. So you kind of bounce off him like a pinball. These are all the things that I'm talking about. We need to have a nice wide base. We need a gator walk. We need our hands on the hip, which I've coached you, or better yet, use your shoulder and hit that guy in the hip, really get him over there, throw him into the guy's gap. And then you gator walk with a nice wide base up to your linebacker. Okay. Look where the running back is. Look where you're at, LaFleur, and look where the running back is. The running back doesn't even have the ball in his hand yet. So do you think we need to be on that linebacker right now? No. You have time. Nice wide base gator walk. Make sure you get to him with good positioning. Okay. Look, the running back just got the ball in his hand and you're already making contact with the linebacker. That's a long time to maintain a block. Okay. And if he didn't make the tackle, your linebacker would have made the tackle. And that's all because of our positioning. Okay. You bounce right off him because when you make contact with them, you're like that. I think maybe both feet are off the ground or one foot's off the ground when you make contact. And so you bounce off and then he's going to be on the tackle. Okay. Raymond, this is a tough block. This one-on-one base block here. It's a tough block. Okay, but we got to get our hands inside. And here's the thing, like I said, our running back needs to be able to see this and run inside of that. We need to be able to run inside of that, or sorry, run outside that block. Okay. Raymond, once again, I want to point out your split or yeah, your vertical split. You are not even here. You're more so up on the line of scrimmage. We don't want that, Raymond. You need to pay attention to your splits. Okay, here we're running trap. We'll go left to right. Rife. That's a beautiful wheel and seal. Everyone watch this wheel and seal. Shuffle, shuffle. He checked his inside gap. No one's there. He turns back. He gets this guy, holds him off from the play. Okay. Pacer, that's a nice wheel and seal. Look at this. Shuffle, shuffle. Makes contact. He wants to get across his face. Okay. Pacer, I'd say get your head on the other side, though. Okay. Try to get your head on the other side. But notice what we're trying to do with that guy. This is worst case scenario. He slants inside. So we reduce down and look. Look at this. We're joining up with the wall. That's exactly how it should look. Okay. That's why we need to step down hard. All right. Watching our pull. Okay. Your first step's not bad. Besides the fact that, look, it's parallel with this line. I want it crossing over that line. Cross over that line and get up into the line of scrimmage. Okay, but we get to our guy. You do seem nice and low. I mean, obviously he falls over. So that's a nice, easy kick out block. Look at that. First pancake of the year. That's pretty good. Foam, you step with the wrong foot, step with your gap side foot first because that's worst case scenario. You have no help on this side. You have help if he slants the other way. So take a step with your gap side foot first. Once again, you take one really big first step, and then our feet just kind of stop moving, and then we can't move this guy anymore. LaFleur, same thing I've said to you the past couple times. Don't run, shuffle down, hit the hip, really hit it hard to knock him over. Don't just give him a pat as you run by. That does nothing, no good to anybody, especially when this guy's bigger, faster, stronger when we face other teams. You get to your linebacker. This is better positioning with your legs. So you have better results when you block them. Okay, when you watch this compared to the other play, you actually have your feet nice and wide. Both feet are on the ground when you make contact. He pops up. Keep a nice wide base as you drive him. See, this is very nice. Okay, he tries to stay nice and flat, even though he's on the line of scrimmage. I'd like him back a little farther. He goes nice and flat, and he treats this guy like lava. And this is why you do it. Okay, he steps down hard. He sees where this guy's going. This guy slants inside, or he's trying to really get on him. And then he kind of does a whoop, little swim move. I love it. I love it. He's trying to take the path of least resistance. Don't touch lava. It's hot. And look at that. That guy falls right on his face. Okay. And then we're going. Okay. Owen, that's no offense to you. I'm not trying to make fun of you. I'm just trying to show if we do this right, it really helps out our offense. Okay. I'm not trying to make fun of them at all. I don't want you to think that. I just want to show you I'm excited that we're learning because first couple days this is not what we're doing. Now we're learning. We're treating that guy like lava, and now we're having success because of it. I'd say so. I was wrong. This is one play where we all do our job correctly. We are building the wall here. Okay, we have our kick out on the inside. Raymond's getting up to the next level. We're able to run the ball inside, and we have a pretty nice looking play there. Okay, that's what we want to see. All right. Run a veer right here. So backside tackle, it's kind of your discretion. We can double team because your double team is going to him anyways. So our combo is remember 4 hands on this guy, 4 eyes on the linebacker. But most likely because of his position, it's going to be you coming off. So you can double team here, but just know that you're coming off to block that guy. Most likely if he comes there. All right. If he tries to flow over the top, then yeah, we might get a nice push block, and then it's going to be this guy coming off. All right. So here it could be a base and a push over, but we have eyes on him and knowing that this guy might take that path. So you're going to come off. Okay. That's a lot of lines. Uh, Same thing. So gap on over has a guy on him, so he's going to base. Gap on over for the guard, has a guy over top the tackle, so he's going to push. Gap on, center has a guy on him, that's a base. Gap on over, we have a push. You two are double teaming to FBI, so you're comboing, 4 hands on the lineman, 4 eyes on the linebacker. Here, gap on, got a base technique. Here, gap on over. Sorry, for you, it would just be gap over, because if there's a guy on you, we might read him. Okay, so we got our double team comboing up to that guy. That guy stepped there, tackle would come off, float over the top, H would come off. Okay, so let's watch. Beautiful. The only thing is that our H did this wrong. Okay, I'm going to go left to right. Pacer, you finally take the correct step with the correct foot here. Second step up. Only thing is we can get both hands on this guy. You step out a little wide here. Your second step goes more this way than right at your guy. Okay, just take your base steps like you do in defense. 1, 2, just straight at him, and then blow him off the ball. We get too far over, and look at this separation between the hips. We don't want that. Okay, step right at him. Lucas, you step backwards. You're doing a bucket step like you're scooping him. We're not scooping him. This is a push block, just like it was when you're doing it for power and counter. You're trying to drive this guy away from the play and go to your FBI. Okay, because once again, because you don't do that, you don't gallop down. We got this big space in here, and we don't get good push. We don't get any push here because we're so wide on our double team. Okay, Thome, once again, really big first step. So then your feet are frozen. You can't get any power or movement because of that first step, and we're not moving anywhere. Just shorten up your steps. Should go 1, 2. You're stepping with the right foot though, which is good, and then drive that guy over. LaFleur, that's better. This is when I talk to you. I bet that felt a lot better too when you hit him with your shoulder. Okay, when you got down on his hip, because look at that movement. Doop, and you moved him over, and now he's over in Thome's gap. That's nice. Still, need to fix your feet though. Okay, look how you're running. Look how you're running. But when you make contact, you do have this foot, both feet on the ground, which helps you. Let's see what you do when you get to your linebacker. Okay, he's gonna run. If he's gonna run 20 yards and back there, fine, run him. Okay, Raymond, watching you. Your first step, you step backwards. That's not good. Just pick it up, put it down. Take your read steps like you would on defense. But you see that your guy wants to slant inside, so you take him, you wash him. But you keep your feet, Raymond. Keep that nice wide base, wide base, wide base. Okay, we can't fall off the block like that. All right. And this is where this play would have been beautiful if our H did his job. He has gap over, so he should be pushing up to FBI. If we would have done that, okay, we really would have pushed him over. We would have been up on this linebacker right away. And look where we're running the ball. Wow, right there. It would have been real nice. Okay, we're running veer again. Running veer to the right. Standing up. There we go. Okay, let's watch it here. So now you think he's on Pacers, so you go down. We should be going down. That's okay. That's good. Just make sure you guys communicate that. So you go out to block him. Go get him. Yep, just like you did. But don't let him cross your face. Keep your leverage. Keep your leverage. Okay, Lucas, that's a little bit better with your steps there, bud. Okay, you stepped out at him. Keep your head there. Okay, and try to keep your leverage as well. Okay, we can't let him. If he wants to fly over the top like that, we're going to gain 3-4 yards, which is fine. So we'll be okay there. Okay, Thome, you step back and then you step forward. We don't want that. We just want to pick it up, put it down. Second step, we gain ground. So we're into this guy better. Okay. But same thing, you just have a staggered stance, Thome, so you just can't get any power to drive this guy over. You just don't have any power to do that. We have to throw that guy into our gap. Okay, LaFleur actually helps you out this time by giving you a little bump there. So you need to finish this by throwing this guy into your gap and cutting him off from the play. Raymond, big dog, this is a lot better here. I like this. You step with your gap side foot. I'm okay that it goes a little bit backwards. Okay, you're getting your base underneath you. You make contact here. You throw him into your gap, which is nice. You're driving him downhill, which is nice. Finally, we get our H there. H, I want to see you down on the hip. This is where I'm saying H is you got to get set up. If it's veer, and you're down blocking, you need to get here and stop your feet, get set up on the outside right away. So you give yourself a nice angle to come down and push block this guy. See how you had to run around that? This is not a good stance to get a lot of power to push this guy down. But here's the thing, you trap your linebacker inside. Look at that. We got everything walled off on the front side. Now, here's the thing. I think the quarterback probably should have kept this here, could have kept it. We could have had a little bit better fake here because this guy's able to fold in, but we are running the ball right in here, which is nice. That's a nice gap to run the ball through. Okay, we watched a lot of counters. We haven't seen a cap yet. Let's watch cap. Uh, yeah, this is supposed to be cap. So for cap, we should be blocking down, away, 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 rip it up and through, and then we should be kicking out with our H. Okay, that we should not have a pulling guard here on cap. On trap, we do. So you need to make sure you're listening in the huddle so you know what's being called. Okay, it should be the H kicking that guy out. Okay, Taglin, I'd say that's not a bad kick out though. You can just be lower, down on the hip, not hugging him. Okay, use this arm as a flipper and hit him, spear him right in the hip. Okay. Jacob, I'd say this is a nice push block here. The only thing is that you need to gallop down. Okay, when you make contact, you're making contact with only this back foot on the ground, so you don't have a lot of power. Okay, keep a high leg inside. Keep a high leg inside, gallop down. Joe, this is a pretty good job throwing this guy into your gap here and keep him there to wall him off from the play. Raymond, try to get a little bit lower on your rip there to get up to linebacker. Okay, once again, we want to use this guy is lava. We do not want to try and touch him. Okay, Paul, I think you knew you're not supposed to wheel and seal here, so this isn't your fault. Okay, we're gonna go just watch our 50s pass protection here. Okay, here, I like this. So we have two fan calls on because that outside backer's on, that outside backer's on. So we have two fan calls, but here's the thing, this linebacker stepped up. Joe makes an off call. He's pointing, so Peyton knows he needs to go out there. Now, if you ever make an off call, we keep the off call. We keep the off call. We never go back to a fan after we make an off call because we're all good to go here if the guard stays in, the tackle stays in and blocks the four. The guard can help out if he needs to, if that guy backs off, and then we have the outside backer blocked. Now, if we make an off call and the A back thinks he's going out there, and then you go and fan again, then both of you guys are going out here. The guard's going there, and then if this A back does decide to come late, no one is going to be there to block him. So if you make an off call, keep the off call. All right. Never try to change it back. But this time, we're in a quiet stadium, so the A back hears you say no off, so he steps up and does his job. Okay, let's watch our technique here. Okay, we all need to stay knee to crotch, knee to crotch. Okay, we get a little bit too squared up here. Make sure we attack the inside part. I know H's, you haven't been with me when we've done this, um, but you want to try to keep knee to crotch. Okay, Joe, this is nice. Joe, I really like this here. Okay, you keep knee to crotch. You stay nice and patient here. You don't go out and commit to him. You wait for him to get to you. You're nice and patient. Once you see him get to this shoulder, then you turn and run him. That's really nice. And now look, this guy, he's past the quarterback. There's no way he's going to get there. Joe, that's really, really nice being patient. Okay. Thome, I'm just gonna come over and watch the tackle over here. Okay, Thome, watching you. You step out for a fan. Here's the thing with the fan. You can take one 45-degree kick slide. Okay, so you take one, two, and you take that kick slide. And if you see that guy go off, you don't have to slide out here laterally. Step back on a 45-degree with your kick slide. If you see that guy go out, then you can step back in and help out with this 4 technique. Okay. Um, Lucas, I can already tell you're going to have a tendency to take too big of steps and then you're going to get beat inside. Take smaller, shorter steps when you kick slide. Okay. And if you have a fan call, just go out and block your guy. Okay. Just get out there and go block him because you have a good knee to crotch relationship to him. Our tackle does not. Try not to come back inside. Okay. Uh, Now, center, here's the thing. That if you have that nose guard, that guy is yours. Okay. That guy is yours. Who has these backers? The running back does. That's his responsibility. That's not your responsibility. Okay. So you need to stay in front of this nose guard no matter where he goes. If he slants, you need to try and stay in front of him. If he gets to this position, you need to run him past the quarterback, just like everybody else. Okay. See, right now you should be running him right now. That guy is your guy. If he beats you to a shoulder, turn and run him because this quarterback can still step up here, centers. Try to stay square as much as you can, but if the guy on top of you beats you, turn and run him. Quarterback will step up. Okay, let's watch a boot here. Okay, we're running boot to the right, so it should look just like counter for us up front. So we got a base, got a push, got a base, got a wheel and seal. But when we pull, gonna get 3 yards deep. Go attack the outside shoulder of the first guy outside the tackle here. Okay, so let's see if we do that. LaFleur, very nice. That's great depth there. Maybe it could be a little bit deeper, but when you get here, yep, you're looking for this guy. This is kind of tough. If he looks like he's dropping back, then get your head inside and try to block that guy. Now, but LaFleur, what you did is not bad because it's tough to tell if this guy's going to come or not. So what you did is not bad. This is kind of tough to try to decipher who's going to be coming and who's not. And plus, if we look right here, okay, we got our push block going on, trying to get him over. We can't. Oh, Lucas. No. You don't need to go to that guy. Remember, you're responsible for FBI. Okay. You two are responsible for that guy. Okay. We have no one responsible for him. Unless this guy drops and then our pulling guard can look back for garbage. That's the only time. It's just tough with our route combination that we had to wait a long time for this guy to come across before we could throw the ball. This is not our fault at all in terms of not blocking somebody. Okay, but LaFleur, here's the thing. You can only go 3 yards downfield, right? So you need to just sit right here on the line of scrimmage. Just sit. If this guy drops, then yeah, maybe you can get back and block this guy, but you can't go attack him. Okay. Right now, this is ineligible man downfield. This is going to be a penalty. Cannot be more than 3 yards downfield. Same thing with our inside lineman. Cannot be more than 3 yards. All right. Guys, I'm going to stop it there. I have my baby monitor and my baby just sat up from her nap. So I'm guessing she's going to be wanting some attention pretty soon here. So I'm going to stop right there. Hopefully, you guys learned from some of that. Hopefully, you watched this entire video to the end so you can learn as much as you can. You can retain it, and we can be a lot better on Monday. Okay. Your team needs you to be better on Monday, right?